which we arguably, well, maybe we should have done a little bit, but like we wanted to do something more thoughtful and more comprehensive, and so that is now. And so, and what did you do?
So I did all the programming and engineering of the new gem system that we have going for forging.
All right.
And fix the math.
And fix the math. Yes, I fixed some math.
The math was good. The math was good. So let's just say what is this new gem forging system about? Like, okay, so you've got a gem and maybe it's got physical damage, but you wish it had magic damage and it was otherwise perfect. We got a solution for you. You don't like the RNG rolls that you got while leveling up your gems at the tension moments at 5 and 10 and 15. Well, we've got a solution for that. There's a catch-up mechanic. There's a way you can get that gem to perfect, right? We're reducing the RNG in the system. Let's just say you've got a gem with health regen on it.
Okay.
We'll let you remove it now.
I mean, but why would anyone want to do that?
It's a great stat, right?
I mean, I'm doing it.
This is...
So where do we do this?
Well, you do that at a fine location called the Gem Forge.
Okay. And you can get the Gem Forge by actually, you won't see it now, but underneath the Gem and Gear Improvement, there will be a bench to craft that.
Yep.
So that is where you will find that.
Not too expensive to craft, but could we just ogle the awesomeness of this beautiful prefab? I think we've teased this before, but like...
And no, it doesn't have an Earth Gem on it, you guys. Everybody, so if you notice over here, there's like a green, I think... So there was like a yellow, blue, red, and green. So everybody was like, "Oh, Earth Gem confirmed." So sorry, guys.
I don't know anyone who checked in a file called Earth Gem.
I opened the forge, John.
Gem_green. Okay, so we've got a spiffy new UI here. At the top, you can see you've got gems, and we're asking you to drag a gem in that we can work on, and a couple new things at the bottom. But why don't we drag in? Or can we drag in that yellow baby?
Yeah, I have this health regen. I kind of don't want it.
You don't want health regen?
Why would you never want that?
Close to
I'm
what you
not on
want.
my rev, you guys. I just not feeling it. All right, I'm gonna drag it in.
Does everyone know about your poopy rev?
No, because that's not my rev. That's not my dev character. Everybody does now, though.
Oh no!
I have a poop themed rev, you guys.
I totally outed you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Just got a little nugget of corn up in the top.
now you're gonna have to hide whenever you run around.
Yeah.
Anybody can get it. It's a hat style with flies, and it's poop with a little nugget of corn. It's not.
It is built around the health regen stat. Let's just say. But many of you don't like the health regen stats. So you put a gem that has health regen in here, and you see that there's 3 little pulsing parts. Your 3 different stats that you got on that gem. So if you select the health regen one, you can actually do something about that now.
Okay.
But before we get there, let's look at all this awesome information that is revealed for the first time.
There's a lot of information on this screen.
Yeah,
it always existed there before, but now we're showing it.
We're so nice.
Tyler, you know about numbers. What's going on with that health regen? 51%. Whoa.
So the RNG that people, claim to not like, we're now exposing that to you so you can see, hey, those rolls that I made on this gem, my health regen is 51% between the min and the maximum value I could ever achieve, which is good to know.
You could ever achieve, or
you could previously achieve.
Currently until the 27th.
For that level, for that tier.
For that tier, yeah. This gem is at level something.
What level is
this level is the highest.
Oh, okay,
level 25. So this is the actual possible maximum value you can get in health regen. So we know we've rolled a 51%, so that's an average gem.
Yep.
Not too bad.
But what if I'm at like a level 1 gem? This thing just dropped for me, and I pop it into this, and it tells me 51%. Does that mean I'm 51% of the way to the perfect that this gem can ever be?
When you're at a level 1 gem, you still have a lot of potential to that gem that could be added on as you level up.
So you've got to level it a little bit, and that percentage will tell you sort of where you are for where the gem is, like what it's possible to level that thing up to right now. Sorry, to augment that thing up to right now, but you can still level it further to increase the cap. And this one's at the cap. So let's just say we liked health regen and we want to improve the stat.
Okay.
Yeah, let's bump it up.
So I see these improved stats. These items must be doing that. Yes.
So there's 3 ways to do it, right? We got a builder's rough focus.
Okay.
We got a builder's precise focus, and then we got a builder's superior focus. Now, these all do the same thing in a different amount, right? I mean, as we know, a gem, contains light and refracts the light, and we want to focus the gem in there. So to improve our gem and make it perfect, we actually need to sort of magnify light in and sort of lays out like cosmetic surgery, like etch out those lines and those wrinkles.
You've stayed up nights thinking about this, haven't you?
This
He's been
thematically
practicing.
fits.
Our gems have lore.
So yeah, they do. So you've got to apply one of these things, and a builder's rough focus will improve the stats on your gem by a little bit, and the next a moderate, and the
Do you want me to
third
try
by
it
a
out?
lot.
Should I do
Yeah,
it?
I mean, what happens?
I see it went up
Ooh.
a little
Oh my
bit.
goodness, we just went up a
Numbers
little
The
went
bit.
up.
number you see on the green, not much. Are we allowed to say the percent?
Yeah.
52%.
This one's 2.5%, I believe.
Yeah.
This one's 5, and this one's 12.5. Is that correct?
I think that's true.
Yeah. So percent.
Close enough.
Yeah, so you'll
Plus or
just need
minus a few.
fewer of those really good ones to get your gem into its perfect state. So that's kind of cool. We'll talk about how you get these in just a moment.
And
But
so we should probably say that when you're increasing these gems, what you're actually increasing is the PR value that you get back from them. The power rank is what's going up.
Right.
here.
The stats you're getting a different
this, never
amount
mind.
per stat. You know, health regen, you're going to gain a different amount than if you're doing maximum health.
And-
But they always contribute the same value of power rank.
and this becomes important because if you were to re-roll your stat, the improvements that you've already made into that gem transfer over to the new stat,
Yeah.
effectively.
I have a question. So you notice how sometimes when you're improving your gem, it breaks? Can my gem break if I ever do any of this?
We do not break
Nope.
gems through this system.
Okay, great.
No. Gem breakage comes from the leveling,
Yeah,
gem level
okay.
up process.
I broke gems getting ready for this, actually. So I was like, click, 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 click.
It
click.
happens!
I'm like, oh, I forgot to choose one.
But you know what? 500 qubits, 1,500 if you're a patron. Everyone should be a patron. It's an incredible deal. So, all right, say
Well, that
three gem regenerators for a patron a day. It's so easy.
So do we want to re-roll this?
Yeah, let's say we don't like health regen. I mean, there may
Wanna
be some
re-roll
people
this?
out there who have concerns with it. So it can
Don't
select
do
that.
it.
Wait,
You'll never get it back.
On the subject of health regen, it's going away, isn't it?
Well, yes. As it turns out, there will be, as of Eclipse, no more gems will drop with the health regen stat.
So it's actually kind of a cool thing to keep.
Yeah.
So maybe I won't. Just kidding. No, but today I will change it.
Now so select that there, and then so
Do it.
I've got health regen. I'm going to change it as a stat, right? It can roll into something that I don't already have.
Boop. Oh,
Like
dang,
crit.
that's good. I'm fine with
Well,
that.
that's not too bad.
Nice.
Yeah, that looks good. Keep it.
Keep it? Yeah, I don't even want to change
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Well,
you improve that?
you could keep going, right, and sort of cycle through the available options there. But every
So I
time
can
you
go
do, you decrement your stash of the item below there.
I see
by
the
one.
percentage carries over from my health
Yep.
regen, so it doesn't. That's nice. So I
Yeah,
don't have
that's
to
pretty cool.
restart.
Yeah.
You're not wasting maps or whatnot.
Nice.
So I
Cool.
see someone asked a good question about how leveling up to level 5, 10, 15 on gems is going to affect these improving stats.
So as everyone is probably familiar with, you get a roll of
Bam.
the gem
Bam.
when you find it the first time. Level 2, 3, 4, these are modest improvements, and then 5, sort of something bigger happens, right? You roll into a stat that gives you a much more impactful benefit to where this gem can ultimately go. And it happens again at 10 and again at 15, right? And you're not sure which stats those things are going to roll into as well. So in a way, this system we're describing here, it totally works with, in every regard, that other system that we have already had. It's just a chance to redress bad RNG. I think that's the way I'd characterize it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else to add to that?
It works.
Yeah.
I'm half listening.
I mean, to the extent you get great rolls, you need less of these augment items.
Yeah, I think people will start paying attention more to when they hit those level ups as to which stat gets improved, because you could have the same stat get improved 3 times, or you could have 3 different stats get improved. And I think people are going to start paying attention to that a whole lot more in their gems.
And maybe your build strategy will dictate which one of those you prefer.
Yeah.
Is there any strategy to modify it prior to leveling it up versus waiting until it's all the way leveled up?
You could use you could improve your stats before leveling up. You are at no penalty because it's the same effect as if it were
Yeah,
fully
no
leveled
risk.
up.
Okay.
But the penalty is you don't know where those levels hit, which stat's going to get rolled, and it might not be what you desired.
And you also could be in a state where if you haven't fully leveled it and you apply one of the augment items, you could essentially overheal. You could burn a full augment to get less than a full increase, whereas if you'd leveled further first, you could be sure that any overhealing is at the last step of that gem.
Oh,
But
that's a nice gem there.
I know.
That's kinda fun.
I'm like doopy doopy doop.
Now max it out.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice gem.
Robin's going to perfect.
I am.
Cha-ching!
You know what though? Too
So-
bad it's level 1.
Ding!
So how hard is it to get these items down at the bottom? I saw that as a
Yes.
question.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about
let's
that.
do that. So,
So how do you get these things, right? Well, you go to your adventurous crafting bench and you craft them, right? They will drop in their final form as, for example, event rewards from time to time. But let's look at that builder's rough focus, right? So you get some bound brilliance. We'll talk about that in a second. But this is the crystallized, phlogiston frozen in amber kind of thing. This is like light capture. This is the power source of your gem augmentation. And then we got some Heart of Darkness, because everyone should run some Shadow Towers. And we'll talk about Bound Brilliance in a sec, but can we go through the other two there? So here's for, this is giving you a bigger impact, but it costs a lot of gem dust. So players who want to just be able to grind without any limitations on their grinding with time, this is your option here. And then the third one, this is for you affluent among us who have excess Diamond Dragonite and, just don't know what to do with it. You've got all your Primordial Dragons, you're wishing you had something to do with this. You can actually get these super powerful augments and get perfect gems before anyone else.
and then there's the Chaos Spark.
The Contain Chaos Spark, yeah. As opposed to the lovely imagery I've provided with you, the Contain Chaos Spark is like, well, you take a whole bunch of Ides of Cthulhu and you wrap it in this binding darkness, and it'll create this like unpredictable chaotic effect on your gems, right? It'll change its very nature, rearrange the
I guess this is
ionic
the eye
crystal
sink. I have
lattice.
so many eyes.
How many
Science
hours do you
words.
spend on practicing for this?
So anyways, but you need lunar souls, right? So that's not trivial to come by either. So Binding Darkness, we'll talk about that in a second too. And then what's that last thing you can craft there?
Is that a tomb?
No, it's a tome, not a tomb.
Is that the
Look at
thing
this.
Mike made?
Yeah, we built a tome. This is the prototype of what's showing up in game
So cool.
right now. Not really, actually, but this is what one of our engineers kind of built
Yeah, our coworker
as a
made
hobby.
that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's freaking amazing. Look at this.
I don't even know where to start with something like that. It's so awesome.
It's gonna hold like D&D materials. Well, this is just
Nice.
this is the 1/3 scale prototype.
I'd hide my vodka in there.
But like, this is what we do for fun when
Nice
we're not
little
building
shot.
Trove, is
Oh, we were like all tall or big.
stuff like that. Anyway, so yes, we've got a tome because we put this whole system on PTS, and you fantastic PTS players said, like, wait, we're concerned about the rate of gaining Bound Brilliance. And so I'll talk about how you get it in a moment, but like we're on tome here, and this is going to be a great way for anyone who's committed to this system to say, okay, it's worth my while to, pay these crafting ingredients, get a tome, and it's going to kick you out a bunch of Bound Brilliance every week.
Cool.
Yay!
Nice.
Where else do I get them? Well, I get them from the boon.
The boom.
The boon system, the Radiant Dayspring, the formerly known as the daily reward chest. So every day you log in, as I talked about on a live stream a little while ago, and you get some tokens from one of the Celestial Paragons, right? You can deploy those at the Radiant Dayspring to get a box, the boon of the month, and in that box, not today, but as soon as Eclipse comes out, will be Bound Brilliance. And so that's going to be one of the main dedication type rewards, for players who just are committed to the game. You're going to get Bound Brilliance that way.
What about the Binding Darkness? Where do we get that?
Oh, and one other thing that I just want to say
jumped
about Binding Darkness is we're going to give them out in events, right? So, we've got all kinds of fun things coming up for Snowfest and for Turkeytopia and for Shadow's Eve, and you're going to see some Bound Brilliance dropping here and there all over the place. So it's a little hard to do the math. We realize that, but there's probably more coming than you realize.
And is any of that stuff tradable?
I think it's all not tradable,
Not
right?
tradable.
Okay.
Could you just mouse over to the tome? It better not be tradable.
no.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yeah, we want players to actually play the game, right?
Yeah.
We don't want this to be over in a day. We want this to be a little bit of a reward for the players who are the most committed to actually playing the game. So that's Bound Brilliance. But then these Chaos Sparks, right? Where do they come from?
The Binding Darkness.
The
right?
Binding Darkness, right? So that'll come from.
Yeah. Empowered gem boxes, gem boosters.
Yeah, look, I actually brought. I
brought
loot
notes.
tables.
Oh, you
Nice.
printed out a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Nice.
This guy's our spreadsheet god.
been
Here we go.
planned.
This is what I just felt like I should use this sometime, right?
While you explain,
So,
I'm gonna.
so it will come from Empowered Gem boxes as of Eclipse. It will come from Gem Booster boxes as of Eclipse, and it will come from World bosses as of Eclipse. Now, the World boss drop rate is going to reward you from basically fighting in higher zone levels, higher worlds. Will drop more, and so you'll be able to get it just by playing the game.
I'm just re-rolling stuff while you. Ooh, that's nice. All right.
Now, the intent is that you're going to need a lot less of
How
these
far you
contained
go.
chaos sparks and binding darknesses compared to the amount of gem improvement you're going to want to do. Because probably you're not going to want to change the stats like flavor of the month. You're going to sort of know what you want, and then you'll need fewer of them. So Bound Brilliance is probably the most interesting new crafting ingredient we've added for a little while.
And it sounds cool. And that's what matters. Just kidding. That pretty much sums
Yeah.
up all of the gem stuff right there.
Wait, is there anything
Is
more?
there any-
I don't know. Do
Yeah.
you have anything more?
I think that's
I
it.
think
Was
that's-
our subject. Next week was going to be more talk about the World Atlas, and then the week after that is subclasses. So we're trying to break it up a little bit so we can get hype and not just dump it all on you guys at once.
So I'm going to try to read comments now.
It's hard to keep up with all of
What
them.
does Binding Darkness do to your gem? Nothing. You take a bind. Well, it changes the stat on one gem, but it won't otherwise modify the stats. It will maintain, as we were talking about before, the effective power. Well, the actual power rank that you get,
Right.
such that if you switch from one stat to the other, it might have different numbers on it, but the percent of the way to perfection, the power rank it gives, will be equivalent.
I already have 100 crit hit. I don't need more.
Why not?
We should probably
Good
do
all the
fan
time.
arts though, because we're running out of some time here.
Oh, we are?
Well, not
You
running
got
out.
15 minutes.
Plus giveaways and clubs.
Okay, yeah, probably
So-
should do fan art.